Maybe that's what's gonna work. What are you doing, man? You making magic happen? Are you drinking your water? Goodness gracious! I just opened my calendar. I'm letting you guys know, man, dude. My calendar is crack-a-lackin', and what I mean by that is it is just full. Like I opened it up and I said, "Hey, you guys want to grab 30 minutes with me?" And who knew? Boom, 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 boom. Man, y'all, I'm so proud of you guys. It takes a lot to admit that you're struggling. It takes an immense, I see Navy Chief in the building, an immense amount of bravery to, reach for support and go like, okay, I need help, man, or I want help. This is what I love about the Unlabeled Recovery Program and, Beyond Sober, is it's all anonymous. Like, it's not just like, no, dude, no one knows that you're there unless you literally put yourself into a room and start chatting with people. So you get to actually anonymously take care of yourself, and everybody else that you know gets reaps the benefits of your success, of you taking care of you, man. And I just got off a meeting a few minutes ago. Super cool cat. Love this gentleman. We actually met in 2021 when I opened my calendar up, and he's like, dude, it's almost 3 years later, man. And he's like, I'm not just sober, dude, I'm beyond sober. I'm recovered. I'm helping people get sober, and I've been using your tools. I've been using your resources. I've been using your words. I've been sharing your TikToks. Dude, I'm so stoked. Or he's saying this. I'm so excited that I get to help so many people. He's in AA, and I love that, dude. I love having conversations with people who love AA, who have benefited from it. And this is because, everyone's gonna find support in their community in their own way. Whether you're joining a program like Beyond Sober with the thousands and thousands of us, or you're going into a room in your local AA or whatever facility, and you're meeting cool people and connecting and feeling like, you actually have friends and like there's a bond and you're not alone. I don't care what we do to take care of ourselves, as long as we're actually doing that. Thank you so much. I don't care if anyone gets sober, dude. I care about if you're healthy. I don't care if you're not drinking. I care if you're happy, man. And that's one of the crazy things is I thought that happiness was how faded can we get? How blacked out can we get? How naked drunk can we get? How absolutely ridiculously, crunk could we possibly get? Because that's what fun is. That means you're happy. The more alcohol and the more drugs you're willing to consume, obviously the happier you're willing to be. That ain't true. That's just not true, dude. If you guys are joining me for the first time, my name is Kohdi. I am an ex-alcoholic liver failure survivor, international best-selling author, and the creator of two of the most powerful and transformative sobriety and recovery platforms available today. Beyond Sober Masterclass, you can find this at sobernotsober.com, and the Unlabeled Recovery Program. I have testimonials from hundreds of people saying that the single shot method, which is something I designed for people who are afraid of withdrawals, has saved their lives, man. Been on talk shows, dude. I've done ridiculous amounts of stuff. And what's most important to me is that we focus forward and that we struggle forward and that we utilize our strengths, man, and we don't give ourselves away to the illusion that we're powerless over a fluid, dude. That's ridiculous. Wonder what percent of heavy drinkers are alcoholics. That's probably a pretty good question. I'll tell you this, though. I could answer this to some degree. Now, this is really interesting. So about 60% of the planet drinks alcohol, okay? That doesn't mean that there are more alcoholics than there are casual drinkers. As a matter of fact, only about 30% of people that drink alcohol drink at high risk or drink the way an alcoholic would. Or another way that I like to say it is only 30% of people are practicing alcoholic behavior. Practicing alcoholic behavior, drinking to get drunk, drinking to black out, binge drinking, drinking too much, too fast, drinking because you're miserable, drinking because you have a dependency or an addiction, drinking to curb pains, drinking to manage your emotions. That is what people who struggle with alcohol do. Now, here's what's even crazier. What's up, Zach? Even with the 30% of people that are struggling with alcoholic behavior, only 8% of people can't even admit or they even look for support. What that means is there are more people struggling that are in the 30% of drinkers that won't do anything about it. That's a lot of people. What's up, Jen? That directly contributes to the 76 million people struggling to not just get sober, but stay sober, dude. I want to say this just because I have no idea what I'm about to say, man. If you appreciate anything that I'm saying, or you go like, hey, he looks like Pauly Shore, do me a favor, double tap that screen right there. It's because it pushes it out to the FYP. I may say something that may help someone save their own life. Tons of people come through here and they're like, dude, I didn't know I need to hear this. I didn't know I needed to say it. Yeah, here we are. But this is a super trip, dude. So I want you to think about this, man. If there's like the only 8 people out of 100 who have a problem are going to seek help, man. And that doesn't mean just like, it means like going to rehab. This means any type of help. A majority of people won't even admit that they're drinking because they're upset. Most people won't even admit that they're unhappy. Although 95% of the planet is miserable, dude. This is why I don't care if you get sober. Sober people are just as miserable as people who are miserable and decide to drink. Nothing in life guarantees happiness, especially sobriety. Sobriety is stupid unless you're using it to improve your quality of life, man. The key to all alcoholism, all substance abuse, is happiness, man. Happy people don't struggle with the debate on, should I just like destroy my life today? Should I take this pill? Should I just, let's see how much of this I could drink without dying. Happy people don't do that, because why would they? They just wouldn't, dude. And you will forever be blessed. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. 19 years sober, relapse, struggling to get sober again. Dude, Shannon, I love this. So let's talk about relapse real quick. First off, so many people like to throw that word around. Shannon, you're not. You're using this appropriately. A relapse means you were medically getting better, such as Shannon. She went 19 years not drinking. Absolutely phenomenal work. I'm coming up on 7 years. Now, you can go 19 years and then decide to drink again and go right back to drinking to the same way you left. So relapse is, I was medically getting better, I decided to drink, and now I'm medically getting worse. Now, if I don't get help or I don't figure this out, then the next 19 years look like alcoholic behavior. It looks like I'm not going to be able to have just one. It looks like I'm going to be drinking a blackout, have parties, all this stuff. I'm struggling to stop. So Shannon, I really appreciate you sharing this. This is absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate you literally opening up this conversation because it's incredibly powerful. Now, here's the other trip. This is Shannon. Let's just say you went 19 years, decided to have a drink on the weekend, and then you went right back to not drinking. That would be considered a lapse, okay? So some people confuse or get convoluted into thinking that a lapse in sobriety, having one day on, having one day with the drink after an extended period of time, is a relapse. That's not true. That's not true at all, because they don't have any type of dependency. They don't have any type of struggle. They just went X amount of days, decided to drink, they had a lapse in their sobriety. Shannon's struggling with something different. So Shannon, obviously I don't know your exact circumstances, but here's what we want to practice on doing. So you've been a 4-year relapse. Got it. I love you saying this. So you went 19 years, if my ADHD is correct, you went 19 years, decided to drink, and it's been 4 years that you've been struggling to stop. Got it. That makes sense. So we obviously know that based on that, just quitting cold turkey is probably not the best bet for you. I just had this conversation with this guy a few minutes ago. Super amazing guy. He's in AA. We talked about the difference between like harm reduction, the single shot method, quitting cold turkey, all of that stuff. So here's the interesting part. So Shannon, let's just say this. Let's just say we practiced harm reduction 19 years ago. Let's say you were drinking 10 drinks a day and it was ridiculous. That was out of control. You were getting drunk. It was too much. Then you started practicing drinking 9 drinks a day and you got really good at that. And then you went a couple weeks, got good at drinking 9, and then you decided to start drinking 8. And then you got good at that. And then a couple weeks later, you started drinking 7, and you worked yourself all the way back down to, 2 or 3 drinks a day. Then you decided to quit, okay? Quit cold turkey, just stop. Then you went 19 years, and then you decided to have another drink. You were at extremely low risk of practicing alcoholic behavior. This is because you broke your alcoholic behavior 19 years ago. 19 years ago, you got a handle on your intake. So now, if you have a drink, the chances of you going, I'm back to having 10 drinks a day is very, very low because Your tolerance is different. Your biochemistry is different. Your neural pathways are different. Every single cell in your body is different. But that's because every 7 years, your cells literally die and are reborn. You're a different person entirely from a cellular level every single year. Even if you were drinking alcohol, and alcohol is infused in your cells, by the way. So you see what I'm saying? So here's what we want to practice right now. This is what I'm recommending for you. 10 years on Wednesday? Holy crap, Steve. Is I want you to average out the amount of alcohol that you have right now. 25 months away. I want you to average out the amount of alcohol that you have right now, and no one's judging you. I want you to, you don't even have to tell me. I just want you to think about this and go, what is the number if I removed one? I know that some people are going to go, bro, once I start, I can't stop. Okay, cool. So don't start. That's the answer. If once you start, you can't stop, don't start. What do we have to do? Do we got to work together? You need to get my recovery guide, totally free. Thousands of people have gotten it and found success with it. We got to do one-on-one, Steve. You need to jump into one of the programs. What do we got to do to make sure that you don't want that first one? If we can solve that, cool. Then we can start into recovering into someone that would never choose that. But if you're definitely going to have that one, and you're probably going to have 15, then we need to pick a number that we could say is our average. So let's just say 10. Just keep it simple. You drink 10. Now you're going to practice drinking 9 for a little bit. And over the next few weeks, you're going to reduce it by 1. You're going to practice drinking 8 and on your way down. The single shot method is what I'm describing right now. I can talk about this for hours, but if you're remotely interested in it, dude, hit the link in my bio and you'll see in the menu, it says single shot method. It says resources, boom, right there. Or just go to singleshotmethod.com. Dude, there's a full video, step-by-step layout, all of those things. What I would love for all of you, even if you're not struggling with alcohol, I want you to get your hands on either the resource guide or take a look at the resource website. It is the step-by-step through recovery. There's only 6 things that we got to do, which is literally the entire Beyond Sober program, but I condensed it into an actual page, one long format that we can follow every single day. And it's the truth about recovery. It's not about just getting sober. It's about becoming someone that doesn't want, doesn't need, and knows they won't benefit from alcohol. You're 15 years cold turkey, no AA, love your life. Dude, I love that for you. There's so many success stories. More success stories than I could possibly count of people just going, I just quit. That's beautiful. There are some people that don't have a major dependency, or they had such a hardcore pattern, not a habit. They had a hardcore pattern of drinking for this, drinking for that, and they practiced it for so long they just didn't really know anything else, and they never really practiced anything else. Therefore, their life looked alcoholic. It felt alcoholic. They were getting the same results, but they didn't have a full-on addiction or a dependency that really, really needed like medical support or real attention. So they were able to get to the brink of addiction or real close or have a really horrible lifestyle and then just stop. And then their withdrawal symptoms, maybe 0, maybe minimal. And because they found such great success in that space, they go like, oh, dude, thank goodness it wasn't worse than this. And they never pick up a drink again. That's absolutely phenomenal. That is considered a holistic approach to your sobriety. Some people like myself, when I was drinking, keep in mind I was addicted. So like without the alcohol in my body, I started to die. That's how bad my withdrawals were. That's why I had to recover for 18 months, dude. Liver failure, throwing up blood, my heart stopped, cardiac arrest, surgery, ports, the whole deal, dialysis. Goodness gracious, lost my ability to walk. It was crazy, dude. So many people aren't going to get there, but so many of the people that aren't going to get there are on their way there, but just don't want to accept it. Don't want to allow that truth to be real. We want to go, not me. I'm built different. I'm Irish. I'm Irish. Why do you think I drink so much? It's because I accepted that. I was like, dude, I was built to drink. Right? My whole family. We're all built to drink. We're Italian. We know how to have... No, bro. You're just as human as any other human that there is, which means you're just as fragile as any other human. But our circumstances are different, and we end up doing damage whether we like it or not, man. So it's a pattern for me every night. Okay, so unique. I want you to... The reason I said pattern is because it's different from habit, okay? A habit is something that you don't know you're doing. Damn, dude. Garrett, what's up, dude? A habit is something that you don't know you're doing, okay? You see my hand, how I just did this? I didn't do that on purpose. I have a habit. If when I talk about habits, I do this. Whatever it is. I didn't even realize it. This is what twitching is, tapping your foot, having a habit, saying something, reacting, doing, escaping, going the other way. You see what I'm saying? You have a habit, or you have a habit of a thought. Your autonomic system is throwing this habitual thought or creating this habitual feeling, a recurring feeling, against your will. You're not trying to do it. As a matter of fact, you're not even aware that you're doing it. But what happens when you become aware that you have a habit? What happens when you realize that every time you say the word habit, you do this? Then, do you even have a habit? Or is it a pattern? You're now in a position to control. You're now in a position to change. You're now in a position to design. But we have to self-audit. Self-auditing is going, what am I doing that's not serving me? And am I going to benefit from not changing it? The chances of us benefiting from a bad habit is next to zero, dude. Chewing your nails. Yeah, 100%. I got ADHD, so I'll find myself like, I don't know, like I keep them short, but I find myself like, you're sitting here, that's a habit. You don't really realize that you're doing it until half your nails are bleeding. Oh shit, right? You just get kind of zoned out. But once you recognize that that's a habit, we have to make that a priority to shift that, because after that, we are choosing to allow that habit to exist. We're choosing to allow that pattern to recreate itself and get stronger and stronger and stronger. This is with every single aspect of our life. This isn't just nail chewing. This isn't just drinking alcohol. It comes down to the way we say specific words. It comes down to the way we choose to feel when we hear something. It comes down to the way that we act when we see something. Hannah, thank you so much. When we see these things, we go, how do I want to simulate or facilitate the state of control that I actually have? We, unfortunately, are a collection of habits. This is why Module 2 of the Beyond Sober Masterclass is so powerful. Every single thing we do is a habit. Everything. What I just did, a little congested. Didn't mean to do it, just happened. I have a habit, right? The way I'm sitting right now. You see the way I'm messing with this hood? The way I'm looking at all these things? I have a habit of doing these things. I'm not even aware of it until I start talking about it. Now that I'm talking about it, see, I actually want to do this. I actually want to pull my hood forward. I have to practice not doing it, okay? Now this is kind of difficult because I've been really good at doing it. Now, when I'm having this conversation with you, I'm going to do my best not to pull this hood until I literally can't take it. This is the work. Because trust me, dude, I got ADHD, I'm hypersensitive, so I could feel just the pressure on the back of my head right now is enough to like make my heart have palpitations. I'm not choosing this life, man. This life chose me. It's like you need to feel everything at 200% all the time. Right now I could feel the heat in my chest because I'm talking about it. I'm paying attention to my heart rate. All of these things are happening all because I'm trying not to pull on my hood. Yeah, it is super frustrating and I'm doing pretty good, but I have to stay on top of it. I have to give myself permission to mess up. Steve, what's up, dude? I have to give myself permission to get real close and then go like, okay, I'm not going to do it. All right, in order for me not to, listen to what I'm saying. What's up, Alyssa? In order for me to not have to pull on my hood, I have to stop doing things, 222, that make my hood shift. So if I don't want to feel like I have to move my hood, that means I actually have to stop moving my body a little bit. So if I'm not moving my body very much, then my hood's not going to move. If my hood doesn't move, then I'm not going to need to pull on it. See what I'm saying? We want to work ourselves backwards and go, where does this start? Because I could fix the habit of pulling on the hood, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm moving around and making my hood shift and it's moving backwards. I have to literally take control of this circumstance to the most minute detail if possible and create a full autonomic response, the way I hold myself, so I'm not upset at my hood, man. You look like Jon Stewart. I usually look like Pauly Shore. It took me being an alcoholic and checking myself into rehab to realize exactly addicts are the best. Dude, addicts, check this out. First off, I hate labels. I have a program called Unlabeled Recovery. And the reason why I created that program is because too many of us are actively calling ourselves an addict, calling ourselves an alcoholic, calling other people names that become their limitations. Whatever you call someone or whatever you call yourself, whatever you label yourself as, that becomes your limitation because you're operating within the illusion of what that label insinuates. So if you call yourself an addict, that's all you're ever going to be. You're going to introduce yourself to me as an addict, and I'm going to go like, well, he's an addict. What else? He's an asshole. He's this. He's sick. He's gross. He's dirty. He's whatever. Oh, he can't handle himself. He can't do any of these things. That's not true. You're a person. You're a human being before you're an addict. So if we remove that, then who are you? Too many of us identify as sober. That becomes our label. I'm not sober. I'm beyond sober, bro. Like, I'm a regular human being. Specifically because if I constantly identify myself as a sober person, that also insinuates that I have a problem with alcohol. I don't. I don't drink. I used to. I don't have a problem with alcohol. I'm not sober. I don't do any things that I need to be sober from. So for me to present the label of sober is an insult to people who are actually struggling in sobriety. I'm not sober, bro. He's sober. He's working his ass off in a program. She's sober, dude. She's going to yoga classes every single day. They're all sober. They're all working together and fueling each other's success. Me, dude, I'm way beyond sober. I'm not even in this game. I'm helping all of them get to where I'm at. I'm not special. But the phrase here, the key point, is once I remove the label of sober, I re-embrace the label of human, of being, of Kohdi. I am me before anything else. And that's a long-winded thing for me to go, yeah, dude, people who have struggled with addiction or who are struggling with addiction, we have to remember, dude, they are very rarely what we think they are. They're some of the most intelligent people you are ever going to meet. They're some of the most charismatic, some of the most heartfelt and empathetic and understanding and kind and genuine people. They're so kind, so genuine that they've been walked on a majority of their life. They're so compassionate and understanding that they've sacrificed so much of their time and their resources to help other people and then got taken advantage of. They feel fucking deeply, dude. They feel in ways that most people couldn't possibly fathom. And it's because of those deep-rooted feelings that they've had to take on coping mechanisms like alcohol, like drugs, to dampen the amount of care and their level of feel. If they felt less, they would have less of a reason to numb the intensity of that emotion. Do we get it? We say this because alcoholics don't drink because they don't care. They drink because they don't want to care. They care so much that it feels like impending doom unless they have a drink, unless there's something suppressing the density and the amplification of the emotion. It hurts, dude, or it's too much, or I don't like it, or I have a belief saying that it shouldn't be like this, and it's really difficult for me to break that, so I just drink. Aunt Elizabeth, happy birthday, girl! I see you! You guys see Aunt Elizabeth in the building right here, throwing out roses? Dude, it's her birthday. I believe it was yesterday. Happy birthday, girl. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. You didn't even think you were gonna make it. Holy jeez, and here you are, making magic happen. I'm so proud of you, man. I love you, girl. That is so dope. And oh my goodness, hey friend, hey, what's going down? Sammy, lead grief and trauma coach for the Beyond Sober program. She also has the Grief Atlas, man. So if you are struggling with trauma, you're struggling with grief, and you want to get your hand on the guidebook, the atlas, the literal compass that's going to guide you in the right direction where you are, you want to follow Sammy Lee, grief and trauma coach, dude. She's absolutely a phenomenal human being. She's changing lives every single day. Great person, great mom, great friend. She's just someone that you want to, you want to keep in your books. Good people all around, dude. We're all good people. And thank you. Dude, I'm so happy for you. Hang on, I saw something here, and here I am. Some alcoholics start trying to have fun, don't self-project. Some alcoholics start from trying to have fun, don't self-project. First off, disappointed panda. Is your mother equally as disappointed in you as you are in the panda? A majority of people, actually almost 100% of people that become an alcoholic started drinking casually. So to add on to what you were just saying, and without projecting in any way whatsoever, and let's just ignore the thousands of people I've supported and the hundreds of people I've spoken with one-on-one, projections aside, every single alcoholic started drinking casually. We all wondered, I wonder how much alcohol I could drink. We all started with one more. We all started with getting a buzz off just smelling it. And then eventually we started to assume that pleasure means happiness. The more pleasure you're in, the happier you are. Although that was wrong, we weren't smart enough and we haven't experienced enough to be able to differentiate whether or not we were actually happy or we were just in an extreme state of pleasure or the illusion of pleasure. So all projections aside, every single alcoholic had to start casually. There's never been, as far as I know, and if you're the one, please let me know, you were born an alcoholic and it was that first sip of alcohol that you were just addicted. You were born addicted. It was just that one time. That one, I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just casually drinking. Oh my God, I'm an alcoholic. Bro, calling yourself an alcoholic and having a physical addiction to it ain't the same. Disappointed panda. There's a reason you chose that name. It's because you embody what that means, dude. There's a reason why this resonates with you, and you're absolutely 100% correct, dude. People want to try something. They want to experience something greater than themselves. Some people want to escape the reality in the illusion or the chase or the embodiment of what they believe fun may or may not be, and then they take it too far. And then they don't know how to stop because no one's ever told them no. They've just been a disappointment their entire life, which fuels another reason for them to drink and chase the fun. And then guess what happens? You have a high tolerance, man. You've got a lifestyle that reflects the disappointment in your life and the environment around you. And every time you look in the mirror, and every time you go outside, and every time you turn on the TV, and every time you flip on TikTok, there's something else reminding you how there's probably something to be disappointed in. That gives you another reason to drink. And because you continue being the most unhealthy person in every room you walk into, guess what you do? You take that drink, and then you talk to other people saying that they're projecting their truths into your world. Interestingly enough, you're injecting yourself into the world of possibilities, and it is quite possible that you're the sick one. 66 days sober. Thanks for being a part of me recognizing how bad that shit is for you. Dude, Kara, I love that. You're so welcome. Keep in mind, I even put this in a YouTube video today. Dude, I gotta say this right now, man. I just released 2 YouTube videos. I'm saying this, bro. It's blowing up. I need your support, okay? Check it out. If you just jump to YouTube and just type in Beyond Sober, there's 2 videos up right there. I just sent out an email to everybody saying that I got 2 new episodes up there. One of them is, what was the first one? The first one, I did 2. One of them was creating a video, and it's the behind the scenes. What is it? What did I put out? It was right here. Oh, there we go. The one I just put out, it's a behind the scenes. So it's like a vlog style of all the videos that I created. The one I put out today, it's 25 minutes. So if you guys enjoy listening to me like this, then you're gonna love watching that. It's literally like how I live my life, but more importantly, how I create TikToks, how I create content, how I work with people. The one I put out today, just a little while ago, is Transforming Sobriety, the truth about naltrexone and conquering alcoholism. And then the other one that I put out the other day, wrong button, is Getting Naked Wasted. Which is, I put out 2 videos about that. Getting Naked Wasted is drinking to get drunk, drinking to black out, binge drinking, doing all those things. We used to party all day, every single day, and it was ridiculous. And the best of us know what it's like to just take things to the next level and to just overdo it, to find a level of disappointment and then hold it against ourselves and then to just reach for one more. I'm 38, and so I was drinking heavily from 1999 till 2016, man. And, I developed a full-on addiction between 2014 and 16. And it sucked, man. Sammy, I love you. But I would really, really, really appreciate you guys. Whoa, push the wrong button. If you guys supported me over on YouTube. I love TikTok with all my heart. I have over 500,000 followers here. But TikTok is just, why won't my people see my content, man? I'm trying to share more content with you guys and it's just not going anywhere. So feel free to follow me over on YouTube. Your support is much appreciated. Had 5 days today, but slipped. So check it out, Here's the trip with having 5 days and slipping. You going 5 days is another way of saying you went 1 full day sober and then decided to drink. In 4 days, from the day that you slipped, you'll be back to being 1 day sober. Hey, dude, thank you so much for the roses. So here's the reality with this. It only takes 4 days for alcohol to process completely out of your body. At that point, you're considered 100% sober. And it's on average. Sometimes if you're a heavy drinker, maybe a week or so. But on average, most people, it takes about 4 days for your liver, a semi-functioning liver, to get rid of all those toxins. Anna Elizabeth's in the building. It was her birthday yesterday. She's a nurse, and she knows the exact specifics on your liver function, and more importantly, the specific number she posted up the other day. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so if you went 5 days, you spent 1 whole day. Okay, so you do 4 drinks per day. Okay, hey, check this out. I'm just assuming because I don't have my contacts in, it doesn't necessarily matter, but could be addressed. Your profile picture appears to be feminine. So I'm gonna say, as a woman, you're only drinking 1 drink over what is considered high risk. Okay, so for women, it is 3 drinks. Okay, you're 46, got it. 46, got it. So check it out. For women, it's 3 drinks or less. Okay, so you're drinking 1 drink over what's recommended by the CDC. Men, 4 drinks. Now, here's what's even crazier. Those are out of date numbers. It means that if you're gonna drink, let's keep it to a few, 3 or 4. We're not talking about getting drunk. Remember, getting drunk and blacking out is overdosing on a neurotoxin, okay? That's not, oh my God, I'm just swilly. No, you're overdosing to the point where your brain has to shut down. It literally your consciousness attempts to leave you to keep you safe. It's going, hey, I don't need to be here for this because you're out of control. Your consciousness is leaving you, and so your brain is flooded, and you're ODing on a literal drug. So we don't want to practice any behavior that's going to push our brain and body to that extent, which is binge drinking specifically to get drunk, specifically to black out, all of those things. With that said, so what I'd love for you to do, is to bring it down to 3. So I know you drink 4, but I want you to start drinking 3, practice drinking 3, which means when you start drinking, you're going to say, I'm excited to have 3 drinks. Hell yeah, I'm going to have 3 drinks tonight. Not, oh, I could only have 3 today. I got a problem. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about you specifically setting up your mindset in a perspective to be excited to drink alcohol, but in a more casual way, with intent on purpose. If we want to drink differently, we have to think differently. So I want you to practice drinking 3. Drink a little bit slower. Remember, it's work. It doesn't mean it's incredibly difficult, but it does take a level of consciousness for you to go, okay, all right, I'm having 3 today. Cool. Drink a little bit slower, add more water so your stomach feels more full, but then your brain and body could actually process how much alcohol is in your system. Because here's the trip, if we're binging, we're drinking too fast, we cannot possibly figure out how messed up we are. Because there's so much alcohol that's being processed at once. This is why they're going like, I had this 1 drink, and then it wasn't until this next drink that I got faded. Like I just don't remember anything after that. You weren't even consciously aware of your last drink, and then we put in another one, dude. We OD'd. Too much alcohol, too fast. So we want to slow down a little bit, right? And in doing so, we're gonna have a little bit more control. Do that for a few days, and then see what happens. And then once you're good at 3, okay, bring it down to 2, maybe 2.5. Just try it for a little bit. After a week or 2, or 3, depending on how well you're doing, then just try and stop. See what happens. Or skip days. So you're gonna go like, I drink on Monday and Wednesday and Friday, but only 2 or 3 drinks. Cool. Then you're doing, I drink on Monday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Friday. Whatever it is. As you practice this harm reduction, this is technically the single shot method, and your body starts to feel better, you're gonna naturally desire less alcohol because you would literally be feeling better. Remember, if you feel better, why is there a reason to drink so much poison? There really isn't. These are 2 really good comments, and I love this. I'm gonna get to both of them. Meta think, I struggled 2 years in feeling isolated because socializing when I is centered around alcohol. I got you. So what you're saying is you felt more social when you were drinking. And more importantly, when you're not drinking, and socialization primarily has something to do with a drink in someone's hand, You don't feel like you fit in. You don't feel like you belong. You don't even feel like you're a part of the party. You may actually feel like a burden. You may actually feel like, what am I contributing to this space if I'm not even drinking? If I don't have a drink in my hand, man, and I'm not equally faded and I'm not on their level, then what in the holy hell could I possibly be adding to this space or this conversation where, I actually have value? That messes with us, dude. And then normally it's that social anxiety right there, John, that leads us back to having just a drink. Because, we got that peer pressure and then people go like, why aren't you drinking? What do you mean, why am I not drinking? Well, everyone else is. And then we figure out that, it's kind of embarrassing, or that we got this pressure going like, how am I not performing? Am I not a good friend, dude? Am I not as cool as these people? Here's the crazy part, and here's the trip. It's not that you aren't capable of hanging out with them because you're not drinking. They don't know how to hang out with you unless they're drinking. Do you think drunk people want to hang out with sober people? No. Why would you want to do that? That's ridiculous. Are they the designated driver? Have you ever been the DD? Do you know how frustrating it is? Do you know how it's like rattling or wrangling infants, dude? Like little babies. You're trying to get them in the car. You're trying to do all these things, man. Sober people don't necessarily want to hang out with drunk people. They don't socialize with other faded human beings and actually have a good time. A lot of people don't. And then drunk people eventually just forget that you're not drinking, and then they just think that you're faded too, and they treat you exactly the same, which is ridiculous. They treat you as if you're 10 shots deep, and you're not. And you're like, get off of me. It's a complicated space. But with that, in time, and I talk about this in Beyond Sober, I've actually just released a couple emails. Let me say this before I forget. If you're even remotely interested in what I'm saying right now, I have a series of accountability emails that I send out to everybody. Hit the link in my bio, drop your information, get your hands on the recovery guide. It's totally free. It's for you. You can have it, take it. I want you to enjoy it. And for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to reach out to you every single day. One of those emails that I'm going to send out is specifically about challenging yourself in social situations without a drink. Whether it's going to an event, going to a bar or a restaurant or something like that, and putting yourself in this space where you can, evolve and get through triggers and whatnot. You would take 3 shots before they first hit me. Bobby, dude, I know that so well. And I used to wake up to that. Yeah, I got a crying dog around here. Hank, what are you doing? I used to take 3 shots right when I woke up. And to hit that, what's he doing? Why is he crying? I don't even see him. Maybe you guys can see him. I don't see him. Oh, here you are. Hold up. I found a wiener. Ask me about my wiener! Hi, Hank. Right when I woke up, I used to have to have 3 shots just to curb the ailments, man. Just because I was sweating, I was shaking, and I felt absolutely miserable, dude. And then those 3 shots didn't even do anything. They basically just kind of brought me back to normality. They put me in a position where I could just somewhat function. Maybe I'll eat something now. This is Hanker McHankerton's the sweetest hunky pie on the entire planet, dude. He is so amazing. He's got his harness on. What's up, doc? Leveled out, Bobby, 100%. But that was also something when we go to the bars and the clubs or anything like that. We would have double shots and triple shots, and those shots wouldn't even get us elevated. Our tolerance was so high, and we were, such deep into the sauce that we were spending more money to catch a buzz that may not even ever show up. And it sucked. We wasted a lot of time and a lot of energy just attempting to feel normal. But that anxiety was there the whole time, dude. So even when you're, at the event, or you're around people that or that you care about, or they care about you, you still have that anxiety, and it doesn't go away. And here's the trippy part about social anxiety is when you drink, your anxiety doesn't go away. It actually gets worse. And that's because alcohol deregulates your nervous system. And when it does that, it amplifies your, nervous, ailments.